Man, man, I cannot believe this. He got me again. He got me again. Uh, Somebody has to tell me uh, what's going on with Chael Sonnen, and why does he always has to talk negatively about other promotion, boxing promotions, or Jake Paul, and we're talking specifically about the promotion that is going, and the card, the boxing card that has been put together, and that is going to happen on Sunday, August 29th here. Right? Why does he has to talk always negatively about it? Right? I was talking the other day that to me it seems like Chael Sonnen sounds like the mouthpiece of the UFC, or the well, specifically the UFC and Dana White, right? And that basically he's their cheerleader and their safeguard when they need somebody to you know what, to go against the tide, and start talking trash about the competition, the competitors, I guess. Then we just call our special agent, special op, Mr. Chael Sonnen, and we tell him, okay, man, oh, you know what, do the job. And I'm going just to show you here, because this one is a piece of art, right? This piece here is a piece of art, right? I mean, first of all, what he's talking about, he goes to a rant against Gegard Mousasi, basically, who's saying that basically Tyron Woodley is not going to win the fight against Jake Paul. That's the premise, first of all. And but I understand that, right? He's asking the question, but when he's asking the question about Gegard Mousasi, he should not forget that Gegard Mousasi, first of all, he's not the first one and the only one to say that Jake Paul he's going to beat Tyron Woodley, or that Tyron Woodley is not going to beat Jake Paul, right? I mean, Adesanya says it, Gegard, of course, and Holland also says it. And you got other fighters that say that said that Jake Paul, he's going to beat Tyron Woodley. Come on, man! Now, come on. So first of all, stop saying that Gegard Mousasi said that like if Gegard Mousasi was the only one in the MMA community or in the UFC community who's saying that Jake Paul is going to beat Tyron Woodley. I mean, a lot, a lot of people are saying that. I mean, you got a lot of people as well that are thinking about it, but they have to, like Mike Perry. He was very tentative. So you got a lot of them that are thinking in their head that, yeah, I mean, you got your work cut out for you, Woodley, but that are sticking for him because they're part of the UFC, right? And they don't want that trouble, right? They don't want that heat. So that's the premise of what's going on here, and that's the first thing. The other thing is that he's starting to talk about PED and all that stuff. So let's just listen a little bit to what our friend is saying here, right? Because this is really
Your striking contest certainly has the right to an opinion, and he said things aren't going to go well for Woodley.
There you go.
But I thought, you've heard some big names like Gegard's.
So there you go. I mean, Gegard is saying that some things are not going to go well for Woodley, basically because Gegard is basically thinking that listen, yeah, Tyron Woodley's got a big punch, and he's knocking people out. First of all, that's the only thing that he has, and that is more wrestler than a striker. That's from his analysis, and that's the analysis that actually Chael Sonnen is asking from him, and he's giving it to him, right? Is more a wrestler for him than a striker. And I mean, who's a better person than Gegard Mousasi to be able to do that, as he is more a striker than a wrestler when you look at his fight, right? So at the end of the day, right, he's saying that basically Woodley is not a striker, that Woodley knocks out people. Okay, he does, but that's the only thing that he has as a weapon is that right hand, that hammer, and that this hammer, right, he delivers it inside the four ounce glove, right? An MMA glove, right? But when he's going to switch to boxing, this is not going to be a 4-ounce glove. It's going to be what, 10-ounce glove? We don't know. So how is the power going to translate there? So there's a question to be asked at that level right there, right? And then he goes on again. I don't understand, like talking about he goes out again talking about now the Paul brothers, right? And saying and saying that these guys, first of all, do the Jake Paul, does he have enough stamina to last all the rounds, right?
Not much.
Right? Does he have a lot of
That is
stamina
not
to last all the rounds? He doesn't know that, right? And he's asking the question,
What does
right?
he do when he gets tired? That would be the
There you go. How does he do when he gets tired? We don't know that. He's never been there, right? We cannot say it. It's an interrogation point. And we will have to see it if it happens. But until it happens, we don't know. All we know is that he trains to be able to last all these rounds. We know that he trains really hard, right? So it's a question that can only be answered in the ring, right? And
what does he do later in the fight? His brother passed the test.
His
His brother is hopped up on the hoopies. His brother.
Listen to this. His brother is hooped up on the hoopies.
Passed the test. His brother is hopped up on the hoopies.
So his brother is hopped up on the hoopies. So Chael Sonnen is telling us basically that the Paul brother is hooked up. He's taking some type of steroid or PED, performance enhancing drugs, right? I don't know how he knows that, right? But that's what he's telling us, right? Without any proof. I mean, he wants to hear Gegard Mousasi provide him some analysis and some reason why he's saying that Tyron Woodley. Why he say that Tyron Woodley is going to have some problem against Jake Paul, but without flinching a muscle, right? he's telling us that. What is he telling us? Oh my god, did I do that? Hold on, guys. Okay, what is he telling us? What he's telling us that okay, let's listen to this.
How does he do later in the fight? His brother passed the test. His brother is hopped up on the hoopies.
So he's telling us his brother is hopped up on the hoopies. I don't know, right? So well, I guess that we're going to take it as face value, right? We got to believe Chael Sonnen when he's telling us that, and we just have to believe it, and we don't have to ask any question, correct? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to assume, right, that we believe Chael Sonnen, and we say, yes sir, yes master, we understand you. You know better, right? I mean, all of your credibility, all of your credibility that you gain in the ring and your knowledge of everything, right? So we're gonna believe you without asking any question, Sir Chael Sonnen. But it doesn't stop there, right? He puts Ferraz in the mix, right? Ferraz, we know the coach of Georges St. Pierre, right? Who lives in Montreal. Ferraz doesn't live far from my place, actually. So here we go. Let's go.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Frost waited on this, and Frost said, yes, I'm sure that Jake Paul will be on Peds. And waited on this, and Frost said, yes, I'm sure that Jake Paul will be on Peds. And Peds making this, and Frost said, yes, I'm sure that Jake Paul will be on Peds. And Peds.
So here we go. So what he's saying basically, he says that Ferraz, no, because now he's got to move on. He cannot put everything on his own back, right? So he's got to find somebody's a left wing man or a right wing man, and somebody to carry the load. So he chose Ferraz. Ferraz has credibility, right, as well. And from what he's telling us, Ferraz, then he's saying Ferraz seems to say that Jake Paul is going to be on the Peds, right? To enhance his to enhance his performance, right? To have a little bit more stamina or what have you, strength, to be able to beat. To be able to beat Woodley. So the excuse is right there, right? So there we go. If ever Jake Paul wins the fight, it means that it's because, let's listen to this once again.
Frost waited on this, and Frost said, yes, I'm sure that Jake Paul will be on Peds.
Right? It's because Jake Paul is going to be on the Peds, right? So This is very sad, and I think that as well. When I was saying at the beginning that he's pitting and he's very negative against other sport, that's sad because he's putting the names of fighters that boxers that are very respectable. That have had great careers, whether in amateurs or in professional, right? Like Evander Holyfield in the mix, and accusing him of taking anabolics and PEDs and all of that stuff, right? And there's going to be a twist at the end, bros. You gotta listen to this, right? And that's sad, man, because I mean these are guys that he should respect because they're fighters like him, and he knows how hard it is to do that sport, right? But he doesn't hesitate for the sake, I guess, of the UFC, for the sake of kissing the ass of the UFC bosses, of his UFC bosses and stuff, to throw these guys under the bus. Listen to what he's saying about Evander Holyfield.
In the fourth fight, you look at what Evander Holyfield did right. I mean, there are some very
there you go.
Holyfield did right. I mean, there are some very clear guys who do not follow the water code. Clear guys who do not follow the water code. Holyfield did right. I mean, there are some very clear guys who do not follow the water code.
I mean, it's funny, but at the same time, it's so sad, right? Because I mean, he's talking about a guy who's in the Hall of Fame of boxing, right? Who's done a lot, fought against Mike Tyson, was one of the first to beat Mike Tyson, fought some hard battles. I mean, this guy was an exciting guy to see in the ring. 10 times or 100 times the fighter that Chael would ever be, and he dares to put his name there in the mix of people taking PEDs, right? I don't know if that's the case, and that's not even the problem. And I'm going to tell you why it's not the problem towards the end, right? But let's listen to this again. Back to Gegard Mousasi, right? All right, so here he goes again, back with
opposite of what you want for the sport of boxing. So, when you come back to Gegard's comments, it's not going to go well for T Wood.
There you go. So he goes back to Gegard Mousasi, asking like, why is he saying that and all that. So I'm gonna conclude this like this, because we're not going to dwell too much on what Chael Sonnen says, because again, he's talking a whole lot to say nothing, and at the end of the day, to actually turn the tide against himself and against his organization that he's trying to protect, right? The UFC. I'm not even gonna say the MMA community, because he's talking for the UFC. And not forcefully for all of the MMA organization that we see here. So basically, he started with Gegard Mousasi. Why is he saying that? And I've already debunked that. How come he's talking about Gegard Mousasi? He's not talking about Adesanya, Kevin Holland, or other people that are saying that, and part of the UFC roster that are saying that Tyron Woodley is not going to win this fight, and that he's going to have problems against our YouTuber and Disney kid, Jake Paul. And on top of that, now he's accusing the boxing the boxing sport, right, to be a sport that is filled with people that are taking PEDs, right? I'm going to let's look at something, right? And you're going to be surprised, man. Like, I just made a quick research, right? Just because out of interest, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to find. But let me tell you this: he's talking about boxing like being an organization where you got PEDs. He must be kidding me. I mean, I haven't been following like UFC Ultimate Fighting for for 2 years. I'm not new in this, right? I was there when the Royce Gracies of this world was there, right? And the Frank and Ken Shamrock was there. All these guys, all these guys that were built like fucking trucks, was there, right? So here it is, man. Here it is. Here's what I'm showing you, and you guys to tell me, what do you think that I'm showing you here? I guess you know right now, right? You're not blind, right? All these pages, all pages in category doping cases in mixed martial arts, right? So you got the freaking name of Joe Beltran, you got your Chael Mendes, I mean, you name it, Chris Cyborg, you got, you name it, you got it, right? All these guys, 132 of them, 132 of them, John Jones included, right? All your, I mean, your Thiago Tavares, I mean, all Tim Silva, John Jones, your famous GOAT that has been tested for PED, Brock Lesnar. I mean, come on, boy. How can you? How dare you? How dare you talk about PEDs when you have all these lists? And by the way, who do I got in here? Who do I see in here that was accused of that was tested positive for PEDs? Oh, doesn't that looks like our good friend Mr. Chael Sonnen, who now dares to accuse people of taking PEDs? That's really ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And when we're talking about cheerleading, and we're talking about mouse piecing, and we're talking about ass licking, and all that you have, well, you have a good picture in the dictionary here. And I just think that that this is not fair. That this is totally uncalled for. Brian Ortega, come on, man. Man, you're talking about your superstars in there, right? So how come this guy now dares to come here, right, in a podcast and say live in front of what? He has 221,000, almost 22,000 views, and dares to say this type of ridiculous things in front of people. What is this shit? This is totally crazy, right? And when you look at it and you think about it this way, I mean, Chael Sonnen is talking a lot of crap. And again, like I'm saying, I used to like the guy. I like the guy, but definitely there's a conscious plan for him to basically put down other, especially boxing, other sports, especially boxing promotions and all that stuff. And this is very sad because, I mean, yourself, you've been tested positive. How can you talk about that? And yourself, you know that the UFC is known for that. Is known for people that are using PEDs. Paulo Costa. There you go. You're superstars. I mean, these are your superstars. I'm not kidding. These are your superstars. These are the ones that are headlining your shows. Frank Mir. I mean, come on, man. This is totally ridiculous. This is, I mean, it's sadly funny, like I'm saying. This is sadly funny. And when you look at the two guys that are going to fight on Sunday night, come on, man. You see Tyron Woodley with freaking like muscles in the back of his ears. I'm sure he's got more muscles than the normal total muscles that a human must have. I mean, this guy is bulked up, right? And come on, when you look at the two physiques, who's the more who could you the more should be suspected of taking PEDs when you talk about it? And maybe that's why Mr. Chael Sonnen did specify that all PEDs are not anabolics and all that. So because he know that anabolics bulks you up and all that stuff. So he tried to play the game. But don't play that stupid game. I'm pretty sure people see it through, and it's pretty sad, man. It's pretty sad. Let it be. Just do the thing. Do your job, man. Provide people with the right information. You have the right information because you're a guy that is very close to the management of and the direction of the UFC. You're able to have information. You have contacts. You know people, and you're able to give people the right information. But it seems like for some reason, you're trying to mislead people, and unfortunately, that's sad. Right, and personally, man, I think that it's a discredit to you because man, your career speaks for itself. You did a lot of things. You fought a lot of battles against a lot of a very tough opponent, and you were one of the top guys, one of the top dogs of the UFC at one point. It's just sad that right now, in my eyes, I'm coming to a point where I really respected this guy and put him in the pedestal, right? That right now, by all these stupid comments, right, and trying to mislead people and trying to put down other sports and not just let it be and provide people the right information, right? Now lost all credibility in my eyes, and that's really sad. I mean, that's the only thing that I have to say right now about this. And when we're talking about PEDs, please, let's not talk about boxing. Let's not talk about boxing. Let's look at the UFC since the beginning. I mean, come on. Let's look at the UFC since the beginning. We know that the UFC was the house of PEDs and anabolics and all that stuff, right? And that it still is. And I'm not the one saying it. I mean, this list speaks for itself, and especially the names that you see in there, right? And that are still relevant. People that are people that are still fighting and that are still headlining. Basically the BJ Penn, that are still headlining the cards of the UFC, right? Man, this is totally Ken Shamrock. I mean, come on, Jake Shield. I mean, you Anderson Silva. Come on, bro. I mean, you got names in there. Tell me that Floyd Mayweather was tested positive, man. Let's not go crazy here. I mean, you got all your goats in there. All your goalsmen there. How many champions do you have? Fabricio Verdum. Come on, PD. This is going crazy, man. So there it is, right? There it is. Kimbo Slice. God rest his soul. Wanderlei Silva. Come on, man. So I mean, almost all of the roster of the UFC tested positive. Junior Dos Santos tested positive to PEDs. So, man, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Is it true? I don't know, man. So there it is, man. So take it or leave it. Make your own judgment about all this stuff. And well, yeah, make your own judgment about all this stuff and listen to this video again and try to see if it really makes sense, right? I don't understand. Me personally, I don't understand it. I don't buy it. And just sad. I'm going to be tuning in for this fight. And I also think that Jake Paul is going to knock him out cold, right? Definitely. He's going to knock him out cold. So here it is. You heard it here. And let me know what you think, man. You let me know what you think. You're allowed not to think the same way that I'm thinking. But before you do that, listen to this video and try to make your research. And then let me know what you think. Thumbs up, thumbs down. It don't matter as long as we can discuss it in all due respect, right? All right, so there it is. You heard it here. I'm out. Peace.